What is up? What is up? 100 days of HEX, day 10. Let's talk a little bit about what I would call Tether chaos. So, okay, this is speculation, right? But it seems like Tether is kind of building up for a collapse. I can't verify that, but okay, let's let's go look at the data. Let's go look at the wonderful Tether data. If you don't know what Tether is, it's like a stable coin in crypto, so-called stable coin, but apparently it's not really backed. It's not really backed by 1 USD equals 1 Tether. Like, apparently they're not actually fully backed by USD as they are supposed to be doing. Okay, so what I think is interesting is what has happened the last month. So if we look at the data, let's go with the market cap, see how the market cap has kind of evolved. And this is some interesting stuff. I remember this video is just speculation, okay? But this is kind of funny. Okay, so the market cap was so okay, let's take let's say what kind of date? Okay, let's go with the 20th of July. The 20th of July, which was a month ago, market cap was around 10 billion, around 10 billion Tether. Today it's around 12.6 billion. 12.6 billion. It's up 2.6 billion. The Tether market cap is up 2.6 billion in 30 days. Are you serious? Yes, I am 100% serious. Yeah, it's up like it actually is up like almost like 2.5 billion dollars in 30 days. Now, why is that so crazy? Well, okay, so it's up to 12.5 billion dollars market cap, and if we go the max time, you need to understand how much 2 billion is. So the whole Tether market cap on January the 30th, 2018 was $2.2 billion. So so in the last 30 days it has added another one of those. That's kind of shady, dude. Like, we don't know if it is something shady with this Tether thing, but it looks pretty shady, man. Like, if you look at the late March this year, the Tether market cap was 4 billion. Now it's 12 billion. So it has almost 3x'd. Is that a 3x? Yeah, I kind of think it's like a 3x in market cap since late March of this year. That's crazy, dude. Like, that doesn't look sustainable. Like, that looks like there's some shadiness going on. Like, it looks like some Tether chaos may come down here soon. Like, we know we have other stable coins coming out in kind of crypto, like USDC and all of these things. But it's like so what is the problem with Tether? Well, we don't know what happens with if let's say Tether is like a card house or like a house of cards, just like that TV show. If Tether is like a house of cards, if that stuff collapses, and I know that I saw some that there's some New York attorneys that are kind of diving into some of the Tether story, but it's just that it takes a couple of years for them to kind of dig through the data and like see if something is actually going on here. But the thing is, like, the whole Bitcoin massive pump of 2017, it's all tied to Tether, right? So what would happen if you would have like a massive Tether collapse? Would the Bitcoin thing also collapse in value? Would even maybe even the price go down to like $300 or something like that? I think that actually may be a possibility, because I mean, it doesn't look like a lot of the Bitcoin FOMO pump. It doesn't look like it's so much retail. It looks like it's mainly margin trading platforms and kind of Tether that are kind of printing a lot of money, especially Tether, that it looks like they're printing a lot of money out of thin air, and then that they're buying Bitcoin kind of on exchanges and then maybe dumping it. Who knows? But it looks like the main actors in Bitcoin right now seems to be these margin trading platforms. Even if you go to Cointelegraph, that are kind of working together with shady Binance, they have ads for like 125x margin trade leverage on Binance. So they're kind of making money on trying to wreck people because yeah, and it's like super shady, dude. Like, and if I Google on Tether, uh, I mean, it doesn't look that sustainable, right? If it has 3x in it doesn't look that sustainable if the market cap has 3x since late March. There was a tweet here also from Peter Brandt on Twitter that was talking a little bit about a Tether warning, and he said that Tether is basically an accident waiting to happen. And I kind of believe him because I mean this doesn't really look like it's that legit. Like, how can you go up if you're a stable coin? How can your market cap go up $2.5 billion in 30 days? That, I gotta say, looks pretty shady, man. And of course, we have seen some pumps of BTC. I mean, so BTC, let's see how much BTC kind of changed in this time period when Tether kind of went up $2.5 billion. So let's say 30 days. So during this period, yes, oh my God, it's exactly connected. So the 21st of July, the BTC price was $9,000, and now it has been going up to almost $12,000, and this is instantly kind of connected to that $2.5 billion Tether kind of increase in market cap. So you see that every time the market cap of Tether goes up, the Bitcoin price suddenly pumps like 30%. But is that really sustainable, right? Is it like how long can they kind of keep on doing this? And because this seems to be pretty correlated, it seems to be pretty connected. I have talked a little bit about in the past also about these lawsuits against BitMEX, these BitMEX lawsuits, and they're very scary to read, like these BART patterns and the BitMEX insurance fund, and reading how they're trading against their people. And we have seen how Binance have done a Steam hostile takeover, and how they now own the Hive DPoS kind of chain. It's very scary to see these big actors that doesn't really seem to have humans' best interests at heart. They are kind of like, I don't think they know what they're doing, and I think this is kind of fueled by, yeah, probably not so good intent. So yeah, so the problem here is like regular innocent people, they're probably gonna look at, oh, the BTC is pumping, and they probably believe it's like retail FOMO, or they believe that it's like because big companies are buying Bitcoin. So yeah, we have a big company buy some BTC, $250 million, but it's probably not tied to this, because this seems to instantly be tied to the Tether counter printing. So so this yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see kind of how this plays out, because these Bitcoin guys, these stock to flow guys, Bitcoin really got to do something. Uh, so they believe we're gonna get like 100k BTC next year or something like that. But at the same time, they're talking about 100k BTC. They've been talking about that since 2018, 2019, 2020, and now it seems like, yeah, something gotta happen now, 2021, 2022, because if nothing happens, um people are probably gonna move on to other things, right? And I also been considering a lot of these things. Like, it's really interesting to consider what would happen if Tether would collapse and Bitcoin would collapse. I actually think that HEX actually would be able to easily overtake them and become like the top number one crypto in this industry, and it would be really fascinating to kind of see that kind of play out. I don't like most of the other things happening on Ethereum, but I think it's at least a little bit more interesting than kind of what happens on Bitcoin. And it's interesting to see this pump of Ethereum up to like $400. I mean, if BTC would have a major collapse, it would be interesting to see how Ethereum would kind of react. But I mean, we have seen in the past how Ethereum has almost passed BTC, and I actually think that that may be an event that actually may happen again, because I mean, you see a lot of these, even a lot of these crypto guys, they're talking way they're talking way more about Ethereum now than what you're talking about Bitcoin, because it seems like there's more interesting stuff happening on Ethereum than on Bitcoin. So, and a couple of years ago, when you had this very very close flippening where Ethereum almost beat Bitcoin, there was way less stuff happening on Ethereum, and the technology the technology around Ethereum was more boring. So now we have a little bit more interesting technology with Uniswap, more like decentralized exchange. We have HEX, trustless interest. We have CK Snarks and all of this technology kind of coming up. We have ETH 2.0. All of this kind of makes Ethereum seems like it can actually flip Bitcoin fairly quick here quite soon. But we don't know. But it seems like this is coming to some kind of ultimate, let's say. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to it's gonna be kind of interesting to see how this kind of space evolves. Because I mean, so Tether went from $10 billion market cap 1 month ago to now almost 12 and a half. Is that like 25% increase of market cap in 30 days? That's an insane increase, and I don't think many people are basically talking about that, and they're probably being in the mode of like, this is fine, especially if they're used to looking at the charts, and especially if they used to think that something happens very natural. Probably they haven't learned that much since 2018, since the 2018 dump, since the 2019 plus token pump. So, and the Bitcoiners, they probably haven't learned that much by, you can just look at YouTube, right? And if you search for Bitcoin and you see all these scammers using Bitcoin and taking advantage of innocent people that doesn't really know what goes on, that doesn't really look that good, man. It doesn't really look like something that was something that would be for the future. It probably would not have that. Probably people would care more than about the brand awareness, and like, yeah, I mean, it's just lame. Like the community, the Bitcoin community doesn't even care that like scammers are using the BTC and like taking advantage of people. I mean, that should be probably a serious thing that they should try to solve, but they can never come together and like do anything, seems like. So Tether chaos. We may see some Tether chaos, and yeah, it can be interesting to see how HEX how HEX would react in a scenario like that. We know, for example, that when we had a dump in the cryptocurrency industry in March 2020, that HEX kind of pumped when a lot of things were kind of collapsing. And it would be very interesting to see how the cryptocurrency industry would react if HEX would become the #1 crypto. I'm very very curious to see how people kind of would behave to that. Would they be in denial if Tether collapse? Would they keep also be in denial? Probably a lot of Bitcoiners would be very very angry if their Bitcoin would collapse, and if it would be proven that Tether was responsible for the super high Bitcoin price, which it kind of seems like. And if that then suddenly like collapse like a card house or like a house of cards, that probably would be quite an awakening for a lot of people in the space, you know. So a lot of people learned a lot of things by you can learn a lot of things in life by looking at failures and looking at what actually is successful. And a lot of people, the problem is with Bitcoin, a lot of people are calling Bitcoin a success, but Bitcoin has actually been a failure because most people, even 10 years in, barely even use it. Like almost nobody is using Bitcoin. If you talk to people, they don't really know what goes on. Most people do not have any Bitcoins, and I don't really see that changing anytime soon, because if you want to change that, like that many people actually have Bitcoin, you have to you can't have like big corrupt actors in this industry. So Binance and Huobi, which is some of the largest corrupt actors in this industry, like you can't have corrupt actors like this if you want this industry to kind of be legit, and if you want Bitcoin to kind of be legit and be seen as legit for most humans. It doesn't really work. And if this Tether thing that's kind of shady, that may also be some corrupt thing. It may be that you're doing everything 100% legit, but it doesn't look like that when the market cap goes up by 2.5 billion dollars almost in 30 days. And that doesn't look that sustainable. People should learn from studying late 2017 and kind of see what happened in 2018 and kind of see what happened in 2019. I think that people should strive to become smarter. So it's going to be interesting to see if the market cap is just going to keep go up with Tether. Like how high can it go? So so if we look at nomics right now, something that I kind of like here is that it's going to be fun when Tether again flips XRP, or this Ripple coin. It's very close to flip it again, and that would make Ripple top 4 currency, top 4 crypto. And then on number 5 is Chainlink. And what's exciting here is that we're gonna soon probably see the first hexagon flip Ripple or flip XRP, and it's going to be very, very exciting because I can't wait until XRP is out of top 10. So coins that I think are going to leave top 10 is going to be Litecoin, Bitcoin SV, Binance Coin, EOS, Bitcoin Cash. I don't want to see these coins in the top 10, and I don't think they are going to be in the top 10s for long, because it seems like coins that have marketing, real world marketing eventually, and has a real utility and real use case, it seems like those are going to be the coins eventually that are going to be like in the top 10s, and that's going to be very, very exciting. I don't think XRP ever is going to get their bank money. It doesn't really seem like it. And I don't see how it is that useful even for like regular humans. Even if XRP went up high, which I don't think is gonna happen because they're like so much down since a year ago, or since 2 years ago actually, and like it seems like they're mainly full of lies, Ripple. Because if you go to their website, they're saying they have 300 financial institutions they're working with, but I think that that's just pure lies because we haven't seen any proof of that, and we don't really see any bank money coming in. So why would people hang around that project for that much longer? And also, if like central banks goes down, isn't XRP also going to go down as well? It kind of seems like it would, right? Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to follow the Tether story. It's going to be interesting to follow the Tether story. Because I mean, if you look at the top 10 charts of crypto, even just like go see like beginning of this year, already you see like many new or some new players, and you kind of see how fast this industry is. Some things are kind of changing, especially behind the scenes. Like there's a lot of things you don't see, like there's nobody telling you everything, right? but behind the scenes, kind of a lot of things are kind of changing. So yeah, I mean, Tether may collapse, and if Tether collapse, Bitcoin may Bitcoin may collapse, and if Bitcoin collapse, probably a lot of these exchanges may go away also. Like a lot of these centralized exchanges that mainly are trading the Bitcoin, they may also then close down because those platforms are centralized. Like if they want to close down, they can just make a decision. Okay, we're gonna close down this platform, and if they have your coins, which probably many of these exchanges have, you're probably never ever gonna see your coins again. Because it's like all of these platforms, they mainly rely on the Bitcoin. I mean, that's the like that's the main player, right? And if that main player goes down, probably a lot of the confidence in this industry goes down, and maybe even a lot of these crypto exchanges go bankrupt, because it's like it's probably going to be hard then to kind of win back confidence. So that is a little bit about what I wanted to talk a little bit about today. This on day 10 of HEX, 100 days of HEX. Tether may collapse, okay, and it may take Bitcoin down with it because they seem to be correlated. Yeah, have an awesome day, DTube.